Good morning, everybody. We are going to move on to the next section of Module 4, Section 18.4, Cauchy's integral formula. So, in this section, basically, we are going to give answers to two questions, or we are going to find a solution for two questions. The first one is that whether we can find a particular value of a function, a complex function, with the help of the contour integral. The answer to both these questions are yes. We can find, if the function is analytic, we can find the value of that function at a particular point in the simply connected domain with the help of a contour integral. Okay, that is the first thing. And the second thing is that the derivative of all orders of an analytic function will exist in a simply connected domain. So these are the two things that we are going to deal in this section. So in this lecture we'll be discussing about the first point that we have made, that is regarding the value of a function, analytic function. So that comes under the formula called as the Cauchy's integral formula. Okay, so the formula is as follows: let f be analytic in a simply connected domain D, and let C be a simple closed contour lying entirely within D. Now if z dot is any point within C, then f of z dot. So here comes the value of the function, analytic function. So f of z dot is nothing but it is equal to 1 by 2 pi I integral over C into f of z by z minus z dot dz. Okay, so here this is the relation between the value of this function f of z dot and the contour integral. Okay, so that's how we bring these two things into the picture. So if we have to find the value of a given function, but remember the function must be analytic. So if you have to find the value of that given function which is analytic, then it is enough to find the particular contour integral. So we apply, or we obtain this formula with the help of the Cauchy-Gustave theorem, which we have studied in the previous section. So let's just move on to the simple proof of this formula. How can we get get the value of the function with the help of this formula and Cauchy-Gustave theorem? So let's see. So what we are going to do is, the basic idea is, we have D, which is the simply connected domain. Okay, and I am going to choose the contour C. Okay, C is our contour over which we are going to evaluate the integral. Now z dot is any point within C. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, suppose this is our domain and this is our contour. In this direction. Okay, this is our C and this is a z dot point inside our contour, within the contour. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to choose another curve C1 which covers z dot. Okay, so let C1 be for easier calculation, I'm going to choose C1 to be a circle with z dot inside it, or it can be the center also. So do you see the picture that we are, do you see where we are leading to? We have done the same thing, that integral over C and integral over C1 of the function will be same, right? Now f is chosen to be analytic, right? F of z was analytic. So f of z by z minus z dot is not analytic. Why? Because z dot is a point which is inside the contour C, right? So this integral will not, this value will not be well defined, and so this integral, okay, this cannot be equal to 0. We had seen that by Cauchy's theorem, if z dot is a point, if the function is analytic completely inside the contour, then the integral will be 0. Otherwise, in other cases, it is equal to 2 pi and 2 pi I, right? That is what we had discussed in our early sections and all. So since f of z is analytic, but f of z by z minus z dot will not be analytic. This whole function, this thing treated as a function, will not be analytic. Why? Z dot is a point inside our particular C. So we can surely state that integral over C is not equal to 0. So by applying Cauchy theorem, we can say that integral over C f of z by z minus z dot dz is the same as integral over C1 f of z z minus z dot into dz. This is what we had discussed before. Now we will evaluate this integral. What will this value be? So let us take this value, integral over C1 f of z by z minus z dot into dz. This is nothing but I am going to add and subtract f of z dot in the numerator. Okay, so it does not change the function, by z minus z dot into dz, and I'm going to split this into two. That is, one is integral over C1 f of z dot by z minus z dot into dz, and the other one is integral over C1 f of z minus f of z dot by z minus z dot into dz. So this much is clear, I guess. Now f of z dot is actually a constant value, right? So I can write this is equal to f of z dot into integral over C1 dz by z minus z dot plus integral over C1 f of z minus f of z dot by z minus z dot into dz. Now what is this value? This integral is nothing but 2 pi I, right? We had seen it in the previous section. Now let us see what is the value of this integral. Now f is given to be analytic, right? F is given to be analytic, so this implies f will be continuous, right? F is analytic means it is differentiable, and if it's differentiable, it's always continuous. So this implies we can apply the epsilon delta definition, that is, for every epsilon greater than 0 there exists delta greater than 0 such that modulus f of z minus, so here we are discussing about the continuity at z dot, the point z dot, okay? F of z dot is less than epsilon whenever z minus z dot is less than delta. Okay, so this is the conclusion. F is analytic, so f is continuous. So by epsilon delta definition we get this particular value. Now for our convenience, or for making the calculation more easier, what we are going to choose is, I'm going to choose the radius of that circle C1, the circle which we have chosen around z dot, right? So I'm going to choose that this is of radius delta by 2. This is less than delta, so I can clearly say that modulus of z minus z dot is less than delta. So whenever modulus of z minus z dot is less than delta, if I choose the radius to be delta by 2, this will be the radius of the circle C1. Okay, so if I choose the radius to be delta by 2, this is less than delta, so this implies modulus of f of z minus f of z dot will be less than epsilon. So remember the ML inequality that we had learned, right? What was it? L is the length of the curve or length of the contour, and M is the bound of the function, right? So here modulus f of z minus f of z dot would be less than epsilon. Why? Because this is less than delta. So if this is less than epsilon, this is the bound, and L is the length of the curve C1. So here C1 is a circle of radius delta by 2. So what will be the length of C1? Length of C1 will be equal to 2 pi into R. R is delta by 2. right? So in this case, by ML inequality, the integral or the bound of this integral will be less than m into L, right? So this we have one z minus z, sorry, the bound is not here, into dz will be less than m is epsilon into 2 pi into delta by 2, and we have modulus z minus z dot is equal to delta by 2. Modulus z minus z dot is equal to delta by 2. So from this, delta by 2 gets cancelled, and this becomes, this is 2 pi into epsilon. So the modulus value is less than 2 pi epsilon. So as epsilon is a very small value, so as epsilon tends to 0, this value will also tends to 0. So we can make epsilon to be arbitrarily very small. Okay, so correspondingly the radius of the circle will also be very small. So when finally we can say that that integral will tend to 0. So I get f of z by z minus z dot into dz will be nothing but 2 pi I into f of z dot. Okay, so if I divide it by 2 pi I, what do I get? I get the value of f of z dot. F of z dot will be 1 by 2 pi I into integral over c1 f of z by z minus z dot into dz, or both the integrals are same, so integral over c f of z by z minus z dot into dz. Okay, so this is how our Cauchy's integral formula can be proved. It is a very simple proof with using the help of Cauchy-Gursa theorem and our ML inequality. We can easily find the value of the analytic function at a particular point which is given inside the domain. So now what we are going to do is we are going to do some examples which will be able to understand our value, or how we can determine the value of any function. So let's see the examples which are given in your textbook. So example 1, we are asked to evaluate the integral over c z square minus 4z plus 4 divided by z plus I, and c is a circle, mod z is equal to 2. So the circle is mod z is equal to 2 means it is center 0 and radius 2. Okay, so clearly the point, now this function, if you see z is equal to minus I will be the point where is a point within the circle, right? So z dot is here, in this case z dot is minus I, so minus I is inside our contour, right? And here f of z will be equal to what? That is, what we are going to do is we are going to compare this integral with the integral in the Cauchy's integral formula. Okay, so that is f of z by z minus z dot. So here z dot is minus I and f of z is z square minus 4z plus 4. Okay, so f of z is equal to z square minus 4z plus 4, and z dot is minus I, which is a point inside the circle. Okay, so what will be our integral? This integral, that is 1 by 2 pi of 2 pi I integral over c f of z by z minus z dot is f of z dot. So if you have to find this particular integral, we have to find 2 pi I into f of z dot, right? So we know what is f of z, we know what is z dot, we just have to evaluate, we just have to find the value 2 pi I into f of z dot, that is 2 pi I into f of minus I, that is 2 pi I into, what will be the value? Minus I square is 1 and 4 minus 1, so that will become 3. 3 minus 4 into 6, 3 minus 4 into z is minus I, so 3 plus 4i, that will be our f of minus I. So the integral value is 2 pi into minus 4 plus 3i. See, when we are moving from one section to another, the evaluation of the contour integral is becoming much more easier, right? So to evaluate this using Cauchy's integral formula is very much easy. If we have to evaluate any integral, we just have to find 2 pi I into the particular function value. But keep in mind the function, we have to identify the function and the point z dot. Okay, so let's see another example also. Example 2, we are asked to evaluate integral over c z by z square plus 9 dz, where c is a circle, modulus z minus 2i is equal to 4. That is, it is at the center is 2i and its radius is 4. Okay, so the circle is given in figure 18.4.1. See, if you have to draw the circles, it is simple. Y-axis will be like I, 2i, 3i, 4i, and x-axis is 1, 2, 3 itself. So we can easily find or plot the circles which are given to us. So the circle is given to us. Now if we see the denominator, if we factor the denominator, z square plus 9 will be z minus 3i into z plus 3i. Now if you see the figure, minus 3i is outside the circle and 3i is inside the circle, right? So 3i is the only point which is inside the closed contour where this integral becomes non-analytic. That is, in that point the function will be not analytic. So what we do is we keep only that point in the denominator, and the remaining portion we are going to treat it as f of z. Okay, I hope you are understanding. See, what we are going to do is we are going to write z by z square plus 9 as z by z plus 3i divided by z minus 3i, because minus 3i is not a point inside the contour. So z by z plus 3i will be completely analytic inside that particular contour. And what do we need f to be? F should be an analytic function. So here f of z will be z by z plus 3i. Okay, the previous example was a direct one, right? We could easily evaluate what z was, f of z was. So here, depending on the contour, we can see that in some cases both the points will be there. Okay, in that case we have to do partial fraction and separate it and form two integrals and evaluate it. But in this case there is only one point which is lying inside the contour, so the rest of the portion can be treated as a function which is analytic. So here f of z would be z by z plus 3i, and z dot is now our point 3i. So this integral using Cauchy integral formula will be 2 pi I into f of 3i. Right, f of 3i will be 3i by 3i plus 3i, that is 3i by 6i. I hope it's clear. So the value is nothing but pi I. Okay, so doing more problems from the exercise will make the concept clear. So basically, to apply Cauchy's integral formula, what we have to do is we have to find the function which is analytic completely. Okay, and we have to find z dot. Then the integral will be equal to 2 pi I into f of z dot. Okay, so the finding the function will depend upon the contour, analytic function. Now this small example, example 3 about it helps us to find the circulation and the net flux. We have been discussing about this in our previous section also, in a very much simple manner. So suppose the function f of z is of this particular form, that is how k divided by z bar minus z1 bar, where k is equal to a plus ib and z1 is any complex number. Okay, keep in mind the function form is f of z is equal to k divided by z bar minus z1 bar, where k equal to a plus ib and z1 is any complex number. Then to find the circulation and net flux, if you guys remember, we have to find integral over c f of z bar dz, and we will get a complex number. The real part will form the circulation and the imaginary part forms the net flux, right? So we have to evaluate integral over c f of z bar dz. So what will be f of z bar? It will be k bar divided by z bar minus z1 bar whole bar, that is z minus z1, right? And k bar will be a minus ib. So integral over c f of z bar dz will be nothing but integral over c a minus ib divided by z minus z1 into dz. Okay, now a minus ib is a constant, so I can take it out common. Now a minus ib into dz by z minus z1, what is the value? It is 2 pi I. We have seen this before. So the integral over c f of z bar dz will be 2 pi I into a minus ib when f of z is of the form a plus ib divided by z bar minus z1 bar, where z1 is any complex number. So from this I can say that the circulation is 2 pi b, that is because this is equal to 2 pi a into I I into 2 pi a plus 2 pi b. So that is 2 pi b plus I into 2 pi a. So the real part is 2 pi b and the imaginary part is 2 pi a. So the circulation is 2 pi b and the net flux is 2 pi a. So if you are given any complex function of this particular form, then we can easily determine the circulation and net flux without calculation. The circulation will be 2 pi into a, 2 pi into b, and the net flux will be 2 pi into a, where k is equal to a plus ib, and the function is of the form k divided by z bar minus z1 bar. Okay. So if now another thing is that suppose our k is a real number, that is b is equal to 0. So in that case circulation will be 0. Okay. And if at all the point z1 which you are considering is outside our contour, okay, suppose z1 is outside the contour, then this whole integral is 0. So the circulation and net flux will also be 0. So there are these are the few things which we can obtain from this example, right? Suppose there are two definitions also, like if k is a real number and k is greater than 0, then z1 is called the source, and if k is less than 0, then z1 is called the sink. Okay, so there is pretty much stuff in this third example. We can easily get questions from it in our part A or even part B also. So just keep that form of the function in mind and we can easily determine the circulation and the net flux of a given function, which is a flow. So this was pretty much for today. That is, we had discussed what was Cauchy's integral formula, and we had seen how to apply Cauchy's integral formula and determine the value of that particular function. So that's it for today's session. Thank you. Stay home and stay safe.